I believe it's a slap in the face.
Talking smack about Lee Westwood, who's been a member of this since 1994 with 25 wins. I'm going to roll a little clip of Billy NASCAR Horschel, who, he's done a smart thing by getting himself in the middle of this. I'm not sure why he deserves to be in the middle of this, but he put himself in the middle, I think, because his PR team said so, I think. And that would be a smart move to get some face time.
Looks like the all-American NASCAR driver, so they put him in front. And I'm going to preface this by saying, just the talking heads were calling Billy the hero we need. I had to get that in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is funny. Well, we're going to roll the clip here, audience.
All right.
Billy and John Rahm over in the BMW PGA this week, right as we're speaking. And Billy has some choice words for his LIV colleagues. And let's roll the tape.
I believe it's a slap in the face of the regular members, of the guys that are actually supporting this tour going forward. These LIV guys, when they signed the contract, they factored in their what they got paid at the very beginning when they signed that contract, that they may not be able to play the DP World Tour or the PGA Tour going forward. So that's why I think some of their values were, or they increased their values or asked for a bigger number. And that's, and they got those numbers. So it's a slap in the face to realize that some of these guys, depending on how well they play, may cost somebody a chance of winning this title and taking home a really nice prize check.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, please
Stopping
stop
the
that.
tape.
Yeah, stop that. We got to talk about that.
Did I hear Billy just say that if the LIV guys play well, because they might actually win, and that would be a horrible thing because they'd be taking money away from a deserving champion. Did I hear him say that? Am I hearing that correctly?
You heard that correctly. And also, by the way, aren't they pro golfers who, a lot of them were on the European Tour for 20 and 30 years? Why is it Billy and the PGA Tour's decision to keep these guys off the tour? They want to play in there, just like Cam Smith wanted to play in the President's Cup and they want to play in the Ryder Cup. It's the PGA saying you can't play. Let's not confuse this because they took money they can't play.
Well, and I agree with that, and I'm 100% certain because I have a note here from Billy that said he went over to play in the BMW PGA Championship and took a slot, but he's just gonna do a dive. He's not there to play well. He's not there to win. He's not even there to play. And if he collects a check by accident, he's going to give it away. Yeah. Just like I got a note from Rory's manager that he took the $18 million bonus and he gave it to the St. Jude Hospital. The whole thing. Yeah, nice. Absolutely. Because he doesn't care about the money. Oh, that's right. He didn't give it to the hospital.
He didn't give it to the hospital.
That's right. No, he did not. Billy Horschel is there he's doing exactly what he said he doesn't want the LIV players to do. He plays on a different tour, not the European Tour. He's there taking up a spot, and he's there to win money that could go to somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know. This brain thing that works.
It's confusing.
It's a burden.
It's confusing when you use facts and logic.
It is. It is confusing. Let's roll some more tape. Let's see what he says.
And it's the biggest purse on the DP World Tour. That's a full field. I think it's like I said, it's a slap in the face to the regular membership of this tour. I can't have as hard of a stance as I would like because I've only been a member of this tour for the last 4 or 5 years, and
he's only been a member of the European Tour for 4 or 5 years, and he is talking smack about. I don't know. Let's pick one guy. Lee Westwood. Westwood has been a member of the DP European Tour since 1994 or 3.
3 or 4. He turned pro in 93.
With 25 wins.
But the other issue is, why did Billy 4 or 5 years ago go to the DP Tour and play in some events? He needed the money. His career was struggling.
But he didn't take it from other players, Darkstar.
That's right.
It came from somewhere else.
Where did he
had
take
a special place to get it.
They had a special fund for Billy?
They did.
Okay.
They did.
Right.
They've created one, the Do-Gooder Fund and the LIV Fund. The LIV guys are evil. Yeah. I don't want to get off the rails here, but wow. Let's skip ahead to Mr. Rahm. Let's do that because Billy, I don't want to get too far. into that. All right, so let's cue up Mr. Rahm. Hang with us, audience.
I didn't see the memo. I probably should see the memo.
Great place to start. I didn't see the memo.
Well, I think there is a difference, especially talking to you. There's a difference between the relationship with LIV Golf and the PGA Tour and LIV Golf and European Tour, right? PGA Tour can afford to let go of some players, saying it that way, and still survive and have some really big superstars. European Tour, unfortunately, is not in that position, right? There's some big stars that have dedicated their life and their big names in the history of the DP World Tour that are now in LIV. And I don't necessarily think you should completely ban them because they've dedicated their life to this tour and the Ryder Cup, even though the PGA Tour might have been bigger, right? They've, especially directly related to this event, they've come to the BMW Championship in Wentworth many, many years in a row. Some of them have won it. So I understand not being full support, but I don't think they should be completely banned, right? I can give a direct example. No matter what league Sergio's playing on, it makes an impact when Sergio plays in Spain. It makes an impact. There's a difference when Sergio plays and he doesn't play. And that could be the difference on somebody new picking up a golf club or not who might be a future superstar. There is a difference, right? So in my mind, letting them play might not be the worst thing.
Okay, we'll leave it right there. Yeah. Letting them play might not be the worst thing. What's your reaction to Jon Rahm?
So, first of all, I'm going to give my overall reaction first. You know, the difference between Horschel and Rahm is a great summary, a microcosm of the way the PGA versus LIV. You know, you have these U.S. players that have always been the first-class citizens, and they made more money with endorsements. They didn't have to travel as much, so it was easier for them to play. And let's face it, the PGA Tour still wants to dominate LIV and make it go away, whereas the European Tour is like he said, it's going to struggle to survive. And the European Tour guys don't want to be a feeder tour for the PGA Tour. And as we talked about in the World Golf Rankings, you know, the point show, you know, they do not, all the other tours, the way it's becoming set up, and Rahm is starting to realize this, hey, we're getting hosed here. You know.
Yes.
So
the European Tour is a feeder tour now. It's minor league golf.
Yeah, it's minor
because
league.
Of the way the OWGR redid the points. You can't
exactly
get
right.
to the big. You can't get to the PGA Super Tour where all the money is. Those 12 special events that the special players, except for Rory because he doesn't play for money.
Yeah.
The DP Tour is finished. We've had that episode. You're right. I agree 100%.
Well, the other thing then, you know, when he talks about the Ryder Cup and he talks about Lee and he talks about Sergio specifically, yeah, these guys are right now holding up the mantle of the European Tour and trying to play both on the LIV Tour. And by the way, they don't want to just concede the Ryder Cup if they can't get their top players. They don't have the same number of top players.
Yeah, I think Rahm's coming from a whole different place. And credit to Jon for, of all the guys that are, well, of all the stars on the PGA Tour, you'd have to say that Jon is probably the most honest about how he really feels about things. Now, I have heard him say that he's not interested in the money, and that's fine. It's fine to say that. If the context and the additional words are, I've made a lot of money already, and that's enough for me. I don't need a $200 million yacht. And if you did, great, you know, because there's a lot of shipbuilders and guys with welding torches that would love for you to order a yacht. It's great to be wealthy, it's capitalism. It's great,
right?
But don't tell us you're on a moral high ground because of it.
Yeah, but what I see more than anything there, it very sincere response, an unscripted, sincere response. And by the way, remember, this is someone who's only been speaking English for about 10 years, by the way. I see the sincerity versus the rehearsed responses from Rory and Billy. And that's what's frustrating to me. It's like, you know, you see Rory searching his mind as he pauses for certain things. And the same with Billy, the pauses, the searching. You know, I do this on camera just because, I'm looking for the right words to say. But, yeah, that's a huge difference there. Huge difference between Billy and Rahm.
I think of the things, and I'll wrap up my comments with this, because the tape speaks for itself. Part of this show is, obviously logical conclusions, following factual information to those logical conclusions. And mixed in with that, and I think we've said this from maybe the get-go, transparency, just be honest with us. Nobody likes to be lied to. And we're going to call that out when we see it. And I cannot believe that maybe Rory thought he was being sincere, but I don't think so. I don't think he's dopey.
My final comment is just, when you're Billy and John, you can't pick and choose. Well, it's good to put Sergio here, but we can't put him here. There's got to be a uniform result. There's got to be a uniform conformity to the rules. They either can play or they're not. You're either professional golfers. You can play where you want or you can't. The picking and choosing is not going to work. You got to get the subjectivity out of it, and have you got to get this together where things are open.
Well, all moves that make 100% sense, they are factual and they are logical when you look at the PGA moves through the lens of a monopolist. It's a monopoly and they don't want to give it up, period. And they'll use whatever tactics they need to, including lying about the nature of where Saudi money comes from. It comes from oil sales, by the way. If anybody wants to tell me where else it comes from, I'd love to hear it. Pretty sure they sell oil. Pretty sure people buy that oil willingly. But yeah, just be straight with us, I think, is what we're saying here. But good for John. Good for John.
Yeah, I agree. Good work, John. And Dr. Darkstar is out.
That's all for this video. For Dr. Darkstar and me, thanks for watching. This is a show about finding logical conclusions, and we appreciate you coming along with us. We'll be adding episodes as fast as we can. There's certainly no shortage of things going on in this world.